What is your impression of Oprah Winfrey? If you had to use one word to describe her, what would it be? Comment below the video. You might be impressed by how knowledgeable she is about every aspect of her incredible journey from rags to riches. However, the truth is far from what you might imagine. In this video, we reveal 15 shocking secrets that Oprah Winfrey has gone to great lengths to keep from the public. Prepare to be amazed at the life that this media darling, who is worth $1 billion, lives behind the scenes. Prepare to be confronted with truths that were supposed to be kept secret forever. The free car giveaway. Surprising every audience member with a brand new car for the debut of her show's 19th season in 2004, Oprah Winfrey staged one of television's most famous events. Finding that each would drive home in a shiny Pontiac G6, the throng burst into pure excitement. But the background of this fabled act of kindness is significantly more complicated and less perfect than it first seems. Against what many people think, Oprah Winfrey did not personally pay for this extravagant gift. Actually, General Motors, GM, Pontiac's parent corporation, gave the vehicles as part of a big marketing plan. GM regarded this as a perfect chance to introduce their new Pontiac G6 model with a lot of media that would create great buzz and favorable reception. GM wanted to leave a strong impression on spectators and possible consumers by distributing almost 300 cars, hence launching a strong marketing campaign. With each automobile costing around $28,000, the manufacturer committed almost $7,700,000 in this bold promotion. GM's advertising budget included this calculated action, which was not an expense Oprah or her show directly had to fund. Furthermore, unlike many talk programs, the audience present for this remarkable episode was not chosen at will. Rather, the creators of the Oprah Winfrey Show meticulously selected people who actually required a car. This conscious choosing process guaranteed that the recipients were folks whose lives could be much enhanced by the gift of a car. Many viewers of the show really needed consistent transportation. Hence, the emotional responses seen on TV were real. As the narrative developed, this gave the event a poignant depth but also brought a sad twist. The financial catch accompanying the new autos was not immediately clear during the festive auction. Winning a car under U.S. tax law is regarded as taxable income. This meant that, depending on the value of the Pontiac G6, the receivers had to pay federal and state income taxes totaling about $7,000 at the time. Many people found this heavy tax load unanticipated. General Motors did pay the sales tax, but the income tax obligation rested completely on the receiver's responsibility. Not all of which is also. We're only getting warmed up. What's next will make you wonder about your knowledge of Oprah Winfrey. Stay tuned. These discoveries might simply cause your jaw to drop. Oprah Winfrey's spiritual belief. Firstly, let's be crystal clear. This is not meant to be offensive to any faith. Every religion is revered greatly. This conversation is limited to Oprah Winfrey's fascinating and occasionally contentious spiritual journey. Oprah's spiritual ideas are intriguing and confusing, like a complicated and contentious piece of art. Many people find her approach to spirituality problematic because it obfuscates the differences between traditional religious beliefs. Consider combining oranges, sirloin, and marshmallows to create a smoothie. The combo could cause some people to scoff. That's basically how people who witness Oprah's spiritual views are affected. She blends aspects of New Age philosophy, traditional Christianity, and Sufism, and she stirs in a heaping dose of self-empowerment. As a result, many individuals are left scratching their heads in uncertainty over this spiritual concoction. Oprah started her spiritual journey in the context of Christianity. She has read the Bible frequently and talked about Jesus frequently, demonstrating her strong Christian beliefs. She does not, however, fit the mold of the traditional churchgoer who observes Sunday services and other customs of the Christian faith. Oprah has made it a practice to include several spiritual ideas in her life over the years. She doesn't read the Bible alone in the morning, for example. She reads from Sufi texts as well as Christian scriptures. These mystical works originate from the Islamic tradition and are renowned for their poetic interpretations of the human soul and heavenly love. That's not all, though. Oprah also explores New Age philosophy, a contemporary spiritual movement emphasizing positive thinking, personal enlightenment, and the idea that we are all connected. Consider ideas such as crystal healing, mindfulness, and the belief that our thoughts create the reality we experience. This is where the complexity of the situation begins. Oprah has frequently said that she considers herself to be a Christian, but she also asserts that there are multiple ways to reach God. This pluralistic viewpoint is in opposition to conventional Christian dogma, which holds that Jesus is the only way to God. This gives the impression that Oprah is a spiritual traveler, choosing her beliefs from a buffet rather than adhering to a single, coherent faith, according to others. The Maui Fund Scandal. Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson became embroiled in controversy following the establishment of the People's Fund of Maui, a philanthropic endeavor aimed at assisting victims of the catastrophic Maui wildfires. The foundation was initially launched with a substantial commitment of $10 million from the two celebrities, who urged the public to participate by making more donations. Contrary to the anticipated popular support, their request for public contributions faced criticism, particularly on social media platforms. Numerous individuals questioned why two of the richest celebrities globally were soliciting donations from ordinary residents, many of whom were struggling with financial difficulties. Amidst a phase of economic instability for numerous individuals, the timing of the request appeared to several as disconnected from reality. On platforms such as TikTok and Instagram, users expressed their discontent, highlighting the disparity between the substantial riches of Winfrey and Johnson and the challenges faced by ordinary individuals striving to meet basic needs. The outcry was so significant that Johnson himself recognized the criticism. He openly acknowledged his comprehension of the public's discontent, drawing from his experiences of living paycheck to paycheck and the challenges of financial instability. Following the unfavorable reaction, Winfrey appeared on CBS Mornings to justify the purposes of the fund. She articulated that the impetus for the People's Fund of Maui originated from Dolly Parton's My People Fund. This analogous campaign effectively delivered direct financial assistance to victims of the Gatlinburg fires. Winfrey underscored that their objective was to directly aid individuals in need, employing a paradigm that has already demonstrated efficacy in other situations. Notwithstanding the initial criticism, Winfrey and Johnson persisted in their dedication to the People's Fund of Maui. Winfrey subsequently announced that, based on their latest updates, thousands of wildfire survivors had commenced receiving the initial round of cash aid to offer immediate support to individuals who had lost their residences. They anticipated that, with the passage of time and the diminishment of initial backlash, the public would acknowledge the fund as a constructive initiative to assist individuals directly impacted by the wildfires. What was the veracity of this funding? The passage of time will reveal the outcome. Unmarried status with Stedman Graham. Over 3 decades, the world has been captivated by the relationship between Oprah Winfrey and Stedman Graham. The couple has deliberately decided not to be married, a choice they have freely discussed and ascribed to their unique personal and spiritual development perspectives notwithstanding their continuous relationship. Emphasizing a relationship of equals committed to promoting each other's personal development, Winfrey has often referred to their friendship as a spiritual partnership, a notion she borrowed from author Gary Zukov. Winfrey has said in several interviews that the particular characteristics of their relationship would not fit the conventional duties and expectations that come with marriage. Winfrey revealed in a 2017 shocking interview with Vogue that following their early 90s engagement, marriage was never really sought after. She clarified that their personal objectives and professional obligations certainly would have conflicted with the traditional expectations of a husband and wife. Winfrey Frank revealed that she thought their love might have suffered from the daily pressures and obligations of marriage, maybe even bringing about its collapse. Her thinking seems simple at first glance. She wanted Stedman's dedication, but was not ready to accept the conventional sacrifices and concessions that marriage usually demands. This kind of thinking, nonetheless, has certain inconsistencies. On one hand, Oprah sought the legitimacy from being asked to wed, evidence, in a sense, that she was deserving of being Stedman's wife. This points to a wish for the respect and status a marriage proposal offers. She deliberately avoided the roles and obligations that define marriage, even though she yearns for the validation that comes with such a commitment. She seemed to desire the glory of trophy winning without really running the race. One also has to consider her career. Oprah made her career, especially with regard to her famous television show, her first concern above a conventional marriage. This decision could have been affected by her fear of losing her independence, since marriage sometimes entails combining lives and could imply compromising some degree of personal freedom and autonomy. Moreover, Oprah's choice most certainly had much influence on her public image. Being a media mogul and a source of inspiration to millions of people depends on keeping a particular image. A conventional marriage might not have fit her vision of strength and autonomy developed over the years. Although on the surface their decision to remain involved but unmarried seems sweet and romantic, it's important to realize that there might be deeper aspects to this decision not immediately clear. Oprah and Stedman have chosen an unusual road, and a little more research reveals that there may be more complexity at hand than first seems possible. Usage of NDAs for confidentiality. The strict and extensive use of non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, is the cornerstone of Oprah Winfrey's strategy for protecting her privacy. These contracts, which cover many outside contractors like caterers, florists, and even the doctors who look after her cherished pets, are enforced on her key employees at Harpo. These NDAs are not your typical contracts. Since they are legally binding, any personal or professional information will always be kept private. Legal experts have observed that Oprah has applied NDAs to an exceptional extent, even though celebrities frequently use them to protect themselves from media intrusion. New York-based First Amendment attorney Andrew Chelly has expressed worries about the possible inconsistency between the idea of free expression and these broad NDAs. He makes the argument that Oprah's extensive usage of these contracts might be over the top and might violate people's freedom to express their own stories. The impact of these non-disclosure agreements was glaringly evident when Elizabeth Cody, a former Harpo producer, attempted to write a book detailing her experiences as Oprah's employee. The publishing was immediately stopped by the court since Cody had signed a lifetime secrecy agreement. A thick veil of secrecy has been maintained over Oprah's personal and professional lives as a result of this judicial precedent, which has created a long shadow and effectively discouraged others from sharing similar experiences. Oprah, on the other hand, is adamant about her usage of these contracts. She contends that taking such actions is necessary to establish a setting in which she can trust others around her. She argues that even with this degree of security, the constant scrutiny from the public and media could seriously impair her capacity to carry out her personal and professional responsibilities. The sheer number of these NDAs, which purportedly cover over 500 individuals, highlights Oprah's unwavering dedication to privacy and shows how highly she regards it. However, this begs an important question. Is Oprah's continuous observance of her privacy motivated only by the desire to conceal her private life? Or is it partly about hiding things she wishes to keep private, secrets that could implicate her? In recent years, Oprah has faced claims of being aware of Harvey Weinstein's misbehavior long before it became public knowledge. It is impossible to avoid wondering if Oprah's tight secrecy policies, which she imposed on her associates and staff, would have prevented the disclosure of this and other hidden facts. Even while it will take time to fully understand what these NDAs are actually protecting, it is obvious that Oprah is committed to maintaining control over her personal life in addition to her right to privacy. Alleged diva behavior. Many people hail Oprah Winfrey's ascent to prominence as the quintessential rags to riches tale one that has motivated innumerable people across the globe. But beyond the surface of her enormous success is a more nuanced picture that sometimes shows an aspect of Oprah that is far different from the modest, approachable persona she usually presents. Rumors of Oprah acting like a diva have surfaced over the years, creating a picture of her that is both fascinating and divisive. These claims prompt further investigation, beginning with an especially odd behavior. Oprah occasionally uses the third person to refer to herself. According to reports, she has allegedly been heard saying things such as, "Oprah doesn't walk," which could appear to be a harmless eccentricity at first glance. On the other hand, using the third person to refer to oneself might have deeper meanings. It frequently denotes a purposeful distance from common human experiences and may indicate an exaggerated sense of self-importance. This nuanced word choice can improve one's reputation, evoking a sense of opulence that is consistent with traditional diva conduct. Oprah's daily routine has also drawn criticism, particularly her assertion that an assistant must bend over to put on her boots. This situation is more than just help. It establishes an obvious power dynamic by placing the assistant in a submissive capacity, which stands in stark contrast to Oprah's outspoken support of empowerment and equality. Given Oprah's reputation for supporting the underdog and elevating the underprivileged, the visual of this moment is startling. What's even more curious is Oprah's insistence on popping popcorn bags on her flights to cover up the smell of petrol. This request may appear insignificant or lighthearted at first, but it betrays a deeper unease with the ordinary parts of travel. This request demonstrates Oprah's wish to have a meticulously regulated atmosphere that meets her unique needs while shielding her from the common annoyances that most people take for granted. However, these actions are ambiguous and susceptible to different interpretations. Some may see them as insignificant eccentricities, the kind of strangities one could anticipate from someone who has lived in the spotlight for many years and is frequently seen. It makes sense that spending so much time in the spotlight could create behaviors where comfort and taste are given priority. To others, though, these gestures may indicate a concerning detachment from the people Oprah has dedicated her career to serving. Ordinary people who must confront life's obstacles without the luxury of such accommodations. Oprah presents a complicated, multifaceted image that elicits both praise and criticism because of the difference between her public character as a champion of the people and these stories of diva-like conduct. Compulsory vegan cleansing. In 2011, Oprah Winfrey embarked on a personal challenge that would have a significant impact on her entire organization. She issued a challenge to herself and all 378 staff members to adhere to a vegan diet for a week. The objective, as she articulated it, was to investigate the potential health advantages of veganism and promote a more conscientious approach to nutrition. This initiative was a well-intentioned experiment in health and wellness that aimed to increase awareness of dietary choices. Nevertheless, the manner in which this challenge was executed reveals a more intricate and problematic dynamic. Oprah's Vegan Week was a top-down mandate that everyone was expected to adhere to, rather than a voluntary invitation to experiment with a new diet. Not only was it a recommendation, but it was also mandatory. What could have been an opportunity for individual exploration that was empowering rapidly developed into a directive that many of her employees may have felt compelled to follow, irrespective of their personal preferences, health needs, or cultural beliefs. By mandating the vegan diet, Oprah significantly impacted the personal lives of her staff, thereby violating their autonomy in a manner that raises significant ethical concerns. This action underscores the precarious equilibrium between the preservation of individual freedom of choice and the promotion of health and well-being. Although the objective may have been to promote healthier behaviors, the approach taken to achieve this can be perceived as a form of control. The question of whether this initiative was truly about health awareness or more about asserting control over those within her orbit was raised when Oprah effectively overrode the personal choices of her employees by imposing her dietary beliefs on such a large group. Additionally, The decision to require a vegan diet for the entire staff is insensitive to the diverse backgrounds and requirements of the individuals involved. People's dietary preferences are frequently profoundly influenced by their personal values, cultural traditions, and health conditions. This vegan challenge, which embodies a one-size-fits-all approach to food, must recognize these critical nuances. It is an unrealistic and potentially harmful assumption to presume that what is suitable for one individual is suitable for all. Although Oprah presented the vegan challenge as a progressive step toward an ethical diet and improved health, some critics contend that additional motivations may have been at play. The imposition of such a directive could be interpreted as an expression of power, a means for her to assert her influence over the lives of her employees beyond the professional sphere. The well-publicized challenge that was presented as a collective journey toward wellness may, in reality, have been an exercise in control, raising concerns about its true nature. Was this a genuine concern for the well-being of her staff, or was it a strategic move to align her brand with the increasing trend of veganism and healthful living? Controversial beliefs. The legendary talk show host Oprah Winfrey is famous for her forthright opinions on a wide range of subjects. There has been a lot of talk and attention surrounding her changing perspective on weight reduction recently. Oprah has been candid with her viewers about her struggles and triumphs while trying out various diets and exercise programs during her career. She has a lot of admirers since she is honest and easy to talk to. Some have criticized her for being too preoccupied with her weight and looks. Oprah was a staunch opponent of diet pills for a long time, saying that they were only a band-aid for real health. She fervently advocated for healthy food and regular exercise as the real way to control one's weight. However, some have questioned Oprah's new outlook. She came clean about her newfound use of diet pills in a recent TV show. A number of her devotees are perplexed and disappointed by this about-face. In stark contrast to her earlier position, in which she favored natural remedies over pharmaceutical ones, Oprah has now endorsed these treatments. Many have doubted her sincerity because of this contradiction. The endorsements made by Oprah carry a lot of weight because of her powerful voice. She endangers people's health by pushing weight loss pills instead of encouraging them to make long-term adjustments to their eating and exercise habits. Some people are concerned that this change could make people more dependent on drugs and less likely to prioritize good practices. Get ready for additional revelations that will alter the public's opinion of Oprah Winfrey as we continue to uncover new and unexpected elements of her life. Oprah Winfrey. Dated John Tesh. Oprah Winfrey kept a secret from her early career, a relationship she had with John Tesh, a famous TV personality from the 1970s. Oprah was at a point in her career where anything that came out about her interracial relationship may have hurt her public image and her rapidly growing media career. All because interracial relationships were still heavily stigmatized at the time. While they were both employed in Nashville, Tennessee, their romance started. While Tesh had already made a name for herself as a news anchor, Oprah was just starting out in her local television market. They lived together for a while, but racial tensions and social expectations finally damaged their relationship. Several sources state that the social scrutiny of their interracial relationship was becoming an ever greater burden for Tesh. He walked off Oprah's show one night, saying he was uncomfortable with their racial differences. Oprah, who had put a lot of energy into their relationship, was devastated by their abrupt split. She kept her sentiments of rejection and betrayal hidden from the public view for a long time as a result of the emotional impact of Tesh's departure. The emotional wounds from this relationship never fully healed, even though he became one of the most consequential people in television history. Despite Kitty Kelly's subsequent memoir revealing specifics of their relationship, Oprah opted to stay silent. She chose to keep this part of her life hidden from the public eye so she wouldn't face criticism. The disturbing reality behind Oprah Winfrey's leadership school. In 2007, Oprah Winfrey had the idea to start the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls with the key hope of providing a safe haven for talented but economically disadvantaged girls in South Africa. But many Academy students found that reality to be far different from the idyllic image she had painted. Strict regulations imposed by the school severely limited the girls' ability to communicate with their relatives. There was a strict 2-hour visitation limit on one Sunday a month, and all electronic correspondence was monitored. Students and their families were deeply affected by the stringent restrictions placed on family contact, which many parents viewed as being similar to incarceration. These limitations were especially hard for the girls who were already dealing with the stresses of academic life and homesickness. School officials denied the criticism, claiming the actions were pragmatically and logistically required. More damage to the Academy's image came from claims that its leadership abused its positions of authority and mismanaged the institution. The former chief of operations, Simon Matiko, revealed disturbing information regarding the inner workings of the school. A climate of fear and suspicion pervaded his description, as did incidents of victimization, abuse of power, and insults directed at him. The problems at the Academy were not unique. A scandal involving a matron named Virginia Makapo, who was accused of sexually abusing multiple pupils, surfaced shortly after the school opened. The incident exposed serious shortcomings in the Academy's security protocols. Even though Makapo was found not guilty, Oprah used her personal experiences with abuse to convey empathy and offer a personal apology to the victims and their families. Oprah exposes why she doesn't want to be a mother. Motherhood has always held a special place in Oprah Winfrey's heart because of the mental and physical violence she suffered as a child. She has often said that she didn't feel she had adequate mothering growing up, and that this conviction was the foundation of her choice not to have children. This sentiment highlights her apprehension about maybe reenacting the pattern of abuse and disregard she endured. While Oprah always wanted to be a mother, she knew that her past emotional scars could make it difficult for her to provide the kind of nurturing environment her child deserved. So, she made the difficult decision not to have children. As an example of her bravery and desperation, Oprah ran away from home when she was 13 years old to escape the abuse she was experiencing. Another major obstacle presented itself a year later when she became pregnant at the tender age of 14. Her untimely baby passed away not long after being born. The combination of her terrible experiences and this tragic loss solidified her resolve to never have children. The untimely demise of her kid reinforced her determination to shun parenting and served as a sobering reminder of her frailties. Oprah's shady business dealings. Oprah Winfrey's climb to fame and money is a testament to her extraordinary talent and economic aptitude. Yet some of her business methods have sparked criticism. In 1986, Oprah became the host of the failing morning talk show AM Chicago. Within a month, she had changed it into Chicago's most popular talk show, which was quickly relaunched as The Oprah Winfrey Show. The show was produced by Oprah's production business, Harpo Productions, Inc., which got its name from reversing her name. Oprah gained hundreds of millions of dollars from the show thanks to a lucrative profit-sharing agreement with the studio. Critics have claimed that this contract was disproportionately beneficial to Oprah, implying that she utilized her great power to gain a higher cut of the income than regular hosts would normally receive. Furthermore, Oprah frequently used her show to promote products and services in which she had a financial interest, and she had to properly disclose these relationships to her viewers. For example, Oprah frequently featured self-help experts who were connected to her through commercial ties and ownership interests. Promoting their books and counsel considerably increased their sales, which benefited her financially. Her show has been criticized for promoting pseudoscience and questionable medical treatments. Oprah gave a platform to controversial characters like anti-vaccination advocate Jenny McCarthy, and she promoted fad diets and alternative therapies that were not supported by scientific data. Critics argue that Oprah prioritized popularity and financial gain over providing responsible health advice to her audience. Despite these difficulties, Oprah became the first black billionaire in North America thanks to her successful media enterprises. First, there are philanthropic and public discourse controversies. Controversies in philanthropy and public discourse. Oprah Winfrey has experienced criticism for her philanthropic strategy and public pronouncements. One significant example is her leadership of the 2005 storm relief efforts for Storm Katrina. Oprah was hailed for her quick response, which included a televised benefit performance and generous gifts to humanitarian agencies. However, she was chastised for how her contributions were handled, with some claiming that her public gestures were more about promoting her image than addressing a public interview with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in 2021, which received major attention and controversy. While the interview gave an opportunity to discuss issues of racism, mental health, and royal life, it also sparked criticism for its dramatic portrayal and potential impact on public perception of the British monarchy. Critics said that Oprah's approach to bringing significant subjects to the public's attention demonstrated the significance of her position in affecting public debate. What are your thoughts on Oprah Winfrey's influence and the controversies that surround her? Do you believe her humanitarian work and public statements represent her values? Or do they raise questions about her motivations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below this video. Thank you so much for joining us in today's video.